Alright, I don't know what happened, but we are significantly lower to the ground than I would like to be. So, I'm assuming when I put the suspension back in, it didn't settle yet, and it finally settled. So it's way too low, which is kind of interesting. So we're gonna raise this back up a smidge, just to make sure it's not rubbing like it was, and then yeah, go from there. Probably shave the inside too, that way it no longer rubs there either. It drove well without the braces, so luckily. I got some things to show you. Everything's tight in here, but I guess I lowered it to a degree. Nothing's moved, which is great. So I'll measure, probably bring it up an inch or so, but my phone, you can see it was just rubbing right through everything. Okay. I'm also going to go ahead and trim this part of it up for the inside of the fender, just to get rid of that extra nonsense in the way. See if I can show you what's like. Get rid of this. So I'm going to trim that up and get rid of it all together and just cut it straight back. That way there's no rubbing any further. Especially when I move this forward, I'll probably have to trim more, but this will be a starting point. Alright, so we're set up the same on both sides. 5 meters? Doesn't seem right. Meters is a lot larger than that. Much better of a height in comparison to what it was before, which is I couldn't do this at all. So now we can take it for a drive. All right, guys, so we're gonna go through the process to install our carbon Miata LED sequential lights. Essentially these little things. Pretty nice little piece. Clear, small. So I plan on putting them probably somewhere around this area. They have this little groove on the back part of it that essentially you just push down and push in. So I'll get something to kind of test fit this on so you can see how it's supposed to sit. But 2 seconds. So ignore my crappy box, but essentially, like I said, this little part right here is gonna go in this bottom hole. So you'll kind of draw a big circle, little hole right there. That way it slides right in. So you'll push it in. This has a top latch part too, so I would probably push it in first. Push that up top, so it's latched on the back, and then push the bottom. That way it goes all the way in, and then it shouldn't come out anymore. Does that make sense? So, there we go. So, basically measured it 2.5 inches up from the crease and then 2.5 inches from the door line over. So we have a center line that we can start drilling, which it's the same distance from the flare to that as it is to the other side. So we'll drill a small, well first we'll basically get our punch ready. So we can just put a center little dent and chase that. And then we'll use our little drill to get there, get the hole started. And then we'll use the hole saw to drill out the big hole. So. And you'll put tape on. The reason I put tape on is so it doesn't split the paint, especially because we just got it painted. I'd rather have done this before, but here we are. So. Slowly but surely going through, just slowly chipping away at this and kind of making this flat up top to kind of mimic the shape of this itself, because while the bottom itself will push up and in and kind of come back down and latch itself in there, the top won't. So the top just has to come in and then kind of sits there with that ledge right there. So it needs to go down, pushed in, it needs to go down to push this. This gets pushed up. This is really tough to push up, by the way. So it's pretty stout of a piece, which is great. That's what you want. So you push it in. That way you'll be able to push it down and then you'll be able to push it forward and it should get stuck on the back of this. So when you're ready for that, I got a little more trimming to do down here and up here just to make it flat and whatnot. And then we should be good to poke it through. No! It's your painting fender, so we're okay. So maybe that's fine. I'll put more protective tape, but this has got to get repainted anyway, so no big deal. Not the end of the world. Alright, so got these rings from a buddy of mine. They are amazing. I'm assuming my gauge cluster, I've had some issues with it in the past, so these are supposed to just sit flush in there. I'm just putting a little electrical tape, or I can't remember the specific tape for this, but it's similar to electrical tape, but it prevents like vibrations, kind of helps with all that. So I'm gonna wrap that around the ring a couple times and then slide it in. That way it doesn't move, vibrate, do anything weird when I hit bumps. But yeah, go through that process real quick and throw it in there. Just wrap it around the edge. I did it on one, seemed like it was okay. Did it on another. With 2 wraps, it seemed like it was really snug in there. So, right, nice and tight. And then I'm just gonna fold these over. Just gonna end is always the interesting part. But again, this is just, it's not something that should be visible, or too visible rather, especially with it being black and the line being pretty straight on. So now to put it in, for temperature gauge, it doesn't really matter. Only gauge that you want to be cautious really of is your fuel gauge, because that will be the gauge you can adjust and mess it up. Seems like it's nice and flush in there, so I'm happy. But man, need to clean this dust off, but otherwise this looks crazy. And then for those of you that don't know, the carbon Miata lights, you can just use the OEM connectors, just slide it in. Just solder it. Just solder it before you put it on there. The pins, and then it'll light up and connect. Just do the right side, right side. I don't think polarity matters, but just do the right side, power, power, ground to ground. So we'll just run this wire on this side. I don't know if there's anything that runs over here that goes down. I think there might be, but I'll have to find it. And then go from there. Maybe run it through that hole. I'm not even sure. I'll have to find a way to get out to the fender. So that's my next project. And I may have found it. Don't need that bolt hole. So let's see what we can do. So we found a hole right back here underneath our garage star frame rail mounts. There's one tiny little hole there. So get the wires ran through the fender. We'll get our piece here connected, and then we'll just splice that in over here, make sure it works, and then we'll solder it. All right, let's see what we got. I need to go to the other side to get to this. So, normal daytime running lights, headlights, doesn't turn on for either or. And then turn signal though. This side come out. That means it's upside down. Again, why I said to solder it. Got one. But all right. Nice and bright. You can see it from miles away. We should be set. Can't wait to see this at night. Got some boxes to open. Look at the packaging. Oh my goodness. Love 20B is outdone themselves. I'm shipping and packaging. Wow. Little center. Get sounds. Damaged. All of them are packaged so well. Wow. Wow. So let's clean up all this stuff out of the way first. And before we do that, got another box I need to open as well. This is basically for these to sit on until I get tires and everything, because I do not have tires yet. So, you know, life's expensive. So, yeah, we'll open this first, and then that way we can hopefully set this up pretty quick. And if we can, great. If not, then we'll circle back and do it another time. But yeah, this is where we're at right now. Tire rack. I may assemble this inside. It's kind of. This is pretty much what I'm doing. I'm putting this whole shelf rack together. So you probably won't be able to see anything because it's not bright enough in here. So I may open the window or something. But otherwise, yeah. Start working on getting this together. Open this one up first. It should be up front. Based off its width. How do you see? Ready? do you think? Crazy, right? Oh. And that's a front. So we're not gonna test fit them in this video. We're just gonna open them up, make sure they all look good. This is, like I said, the front. We have the center re-welded, resealed, all the way through and through. Looks fantastic. And then, yeah, just the faces are insane. I had it brushed instead of the original, instead of polished, but this is a 15:9 -5 offset for the fronts. And then I know what everybody's looking forward to are the rears. So let me pull those out and about. Set this bad boy aside. Insane. Is this the rear? Let's see. Is it the same height as the other one? If this is not a rear, that will be impressive. I really haven't any rebuilt. Oh my goodness. Huge amount of dish. 5 inches of dish is crazy. So this is the rear. This is the front. This is 15:10, -15. Again, front's 15:9, -5. I'm just blown away. Thank you. Oh my goodness. So, I don't even know what to say. Again, blown away. So for now, pull all these out. They just look amazing. Absolutely amazing. Each and every one of these. It's just like, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. So yeah, I'm gonna put these away. I still gotta get the rack up on the wall over there so I can put these up there until I get tires, and then, yeah. So, as I've been saying, like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. Come back for more. See you in the next one. Peace.